Designed with that goal in mind.
Since my husband is from Guatemala, I'll apply what I've learned in Babbel to our real life situations.
The app is so practical, it helps you learn things that you will actually need.
Hoy es miércoles y el clima está muy bueno afuera.
Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com to start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Is your car stereo giving you trouble? Wale's Audio and Window Tinting is having a grand opening sale this Sunday from 12 noon to 5 p.m. There will be free food, in-store giveaways, and early bird discounts. Don't wait. Pull up at Wale's Audio and Tinting this Sunday, located at 1285 US 31 in Greenwood, right next to Firestone and the mall. Need new speakers, stereo, windows tinted? Wale's Audio and Window Tinting will hook you up. For more information, call 317-909-5041.
Keeping you connected to what's happening in our city. It's Open Lines on Hot 96.3.
Hey, what up, Naptown? This your boy, Ricky Smiley, man. Check it out, and you're listening to Open Lines with Cameron Ridle and Ebony Chappel.
Good Sunday morning to you, Indianapolis. I'm Indy's newsman, Cameron Ridle in the Radio 1 studios.
Hello, Indy. Ebony Chappel checking in here, also in the Radio 1 studios. Thank you so much for joining us.
We have much more show coming up. Ebony just had an exclusive, very important sit-down with Brandon Warren, who is sharing his story after surviving a suicide attempt. Now, we've invited you to call in to us, and our phone lines are completely full, but keep calling, 317-239-9696. We're going to talk to you. And Ebony, we're also going to talk to Muhammed Saahir. Go ahead and introduce him.
So Muhammed Saahir is a counselor. He also has a career in higher education. He worked down in IU Bloomington for a very long time, and he is the founder of the Blue Couch Counseling Services. So happy to have him back on the show to help talk with us about this very important issue of mental health awareness and suicide prevention. So Muhammad, thank you for being here on the show today.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. So you had a chance to listen to Brandon's interview. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on it from the perspective of a mental health professional and some of the things that we should really be paying attention to.
Yeah, well, first I'd like to say thank you for him sharing such a impactful story, such a personal and intimate story. Some things that really caught my ear was the fact that he views himself as a survivor. That's the first thing that really caught my ear. But some things that really caught my attention was his tone as he was talking about this very impactful event. And the way he talked about how his thought process was going and how it seemed like it wasn't like a quick, immediate decision to do anything. It sounded like it was like small, gradual steps that got him towards a place where he did not recognize where he was. And the way he talked about himself as a leader, the way he talked about himself as a person who was of faith, and doesn't really, that may sound unfamiliar, or it may sound like it doesn't match what we may think of as someone who may be suicidal. Mm. So when I heard him speak, I heard his humanity. I heard him as a person. I heard him as a brother. I heard him as, a nephew or someone's son. And they, someone that you would probably think of as a rather good person. And I hope I'm answering your question, but I'm really trying to paint the picture of, this is a person who has a lot of humanity, but at times small, gradual things can happen, or maybe large, impactful, traumatic things can happen, and when we're not taking care of our reaction to them, we can find ourselves in a place where we seem unrecognizable even to ourselves.
Mm. Wow. Thank you for that reflection.
Guys, our phone lines are on fire right now after Ebony's discussion with Brandon. So let's hop over to the phones at 317-239-9696. Let's see who this is. Caller, good morning. You are live on the air. Hello, that's you. They're listening to the radio, so they'll hear us in a couple of seconds. Wait for it. Hello? Now I can hear myself in the background. Here we go. I'm going to cut this. 3. Hello? All right. Took too long. Caller on line 2. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey,
You're live on the air.
Greetings. How y'all doing this morning?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Hey, so I'm going to get into this real quick because I'm a person that dealt with depression and all those suicidal things and counseling and different things. I just want to say to people, you are experiencing some type of mental thing, you have to first decide, do you want to be embarrassed or do you want to save your life? If you want to save your life, go get some help. I really think that the brother that came on this morning, I think that was a great interview because us as black men, we deal with a lot of different things and a lot of the, for my own self, was because I didn't understand my own self. And so I don't really deal with depression or anything no more, even though it does come to me every now and then, but I just have different techniques to get rid of it. And so if you guys out there are experiencing anything, even with your children, I just posted something the other day that said that if a person comes to you and their problem don't seem that big, just realize and understand that it's still big to them and they came to you for a reason. So, show a little more compassion and try to get a little more understanding. And so I'm going to move on past that. And Cameron, I wanted to tell you that out at Riverside Park, they have all 95% of, I'll do the 100%. Okay, 95% of the people that come to Riverside Park work every single day. The other 5% are probably retired. There's a lot of people out there that do wear masks. There's a lot of hand sanitizer all around that park everywhere. So we are protecting ourselves and different things like that because I play horseshoes at Riverside. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing I want to say is that either Cameron or Ebony, I have 4 books that I published that's in the Library of Congress. Will one of you guys interview me?
Interview you about your book, Paul?
Huh?
You said, would somebody interview you about your book?
Yes, I would like for someone to interview me about my books. Years back in 2010, I asked Angela from Channel 13, but she said that I needed an agent, and I was like an agent. So anyway.
Okay.
But
so
I
maybe
would
we
like
can
to have
get your info. We'll go ahead and put you on hold so we can get through some of these other calls, get your info, and then circle back later. But thank you so much for your call.
Oh, thank you. And I'm going to hold on, too.
Absolutely. So one thing I did want to say before we jump back into the calls, Cameron and Muhammad, is that, we're going to be talking about a lot of things throughout the rest of the show, but this is not to replace a relationship with a mental health provider. So that is still very important, but these are just some tools and some conversational things to help you all. So just wanted to add that disclaimer.
All right, let's stay on the phones. 317-239-9696. Caller on line 3. Good morning. You're live on air. Hey, Larry.
Well, this is so disheartening. When every time we have a campaign on your radio station, it all leads down to one thing. Take this pill, a belly full of dope for the recipient, and ruin his life more and more. People have to learn how to deal with the viscositudes of life while they're going through it, rather than slopping out to somebody that's a therapist, that's in it for the money, that's trying to make his car payment, that's trying to get new rims for his car. So I think that we're misleading our community, and we're trying to tell them that you're so weak that you need to come and get your dope, and then have somebody as a poster boy for it. I mean, it's the same old cliche, Cameron. Come and get a belly full of dope. Come and get a belly full of dope. You can't take it, black man. Come and get your belly full of dope and then go sit around and slobber. Our schools are closed.
All right, Larry. Okay, Larry. So one thing that we cannot do is downplay the importance of mental health in our community and the things that we deal with. How you feel about it is one way. But the reason why this campaign is going on is for a very important and specific reason. And I'm not going to get all off on a soapbox because that's going to take us on a different path and distract us from what the entire point of this conversation is. So just want to say that.
Paul is gone.
Okay.
Let's keep going. I would turn it over to Muhammad to add something, but I think you just summed it up in the right way, Ebony. So more phone calls, 317-239-9696. Phone line still flashing. If you can't get through, go ahead, send us a tweet at Open Line Show. We're also streaming this morning on our Facebook page. Caller on line 1, good morning. You're live on the air. Yes, that's you.
You know, one of the culprits of suicide is disappointment. Disappointment in oneself, other people disappointing you. And I think that leads to, because when one's disappointed, it increases the serotonin in their brain, and it changes how they think. It's not like anger, but when people are disappointed, but one of the remedies is having family around you to support you, to give you that support, to encourage you, and so that you don't feel disappointed. I mean, we've been disappointed by COVID. We've been disappointed by our pastors, our parents. We've been disappointed by our pastors, our faith leaders. And, that pressure of disappointment, I think, is one of the culprits that leads to suicide. So, again, the remedy is having a strong family around you to support you. Don the Baptist from Indianapolis.
Don the Baptist, thank you. Muhammad, to you, how much of this is the different things, I guess we could find some room to find some sort of truth or a value in something that Larry said, and then something that Don the Baptist just said. Is it a combination of things? Is there any one best way to get the help? He mentioned pastors, and then Larry's talking pills. Different things work for different people.
Right. I think what's helpful is finding a balance that will work for you. Some people will need to see a psychiatrist, point blank, period. Right. There are some people who need medication, and that's okay. And some people will use medication along with therapy. Some people will use therapy only. Some people will use couples counseling only. Some people will use therapy along with a more holistic approach. Some people will they will use their pastor for maybe support on Sunday and maybe Wednesday, but maybe they also use the therapist once a month. So there's a lot of different opportunities. And what I'm a fan of is finding a balance that works best for you. Mm-hmm. And that over time probably will change. And to go to Larry's point, Larry was solid to be frustrated, and I'm not mad at Larry at all. And Larry has the right to be upset, particularly with the health field, because historically we have been screwed over. So I give him that space.
So let me just say this as we go back to the phones at 317-239-9696. It's good that we're having this conversation today. It's good that we had the conversation on the radio on Thursday when we did the Stop the Music during the day. Yeah. But as we go through this, what I am taking away from it is exactly what Muhammad, what you just said. I was thinking it right as you said it, and is now we've gone from let's just not go get the help, because I think that's clear to people now that it's okay to get help. But now it's get the help that you need. Don't go by what someone else says worked for them or what they think you should do, or what didn't work for them. Go do what works for you, because what works for Ebony, how she heals, may not be the same way that I heal, and it is not right or wrong if we choose to do it differently.
Yeah.
And I say demand it. Demand it. Fire a therapist if you need to. I said it. I've been fired. That's okay. I don't take it personal. But find what you need. If you were, I use an example. If I were to go to McDonald's and they gave me the wrong sandwich, I'm not going to go off. I'm going to say, hey, I gave me the wrong sandwich. I'm not going to leave until I get my correct sandwich. And if y'all can't get it right, I need to go somewhere else. Nothing personal, but I'm still hungry.
It's just business, and in this case, it's your life.
It's business.
317-239-9696 is the number to get on the air. Let's go back to the phone lines. Caller on line 1. Good morning. You're live on the Open Line Show.
Oh, it's me, Cameron.
Hey, what's up?
This Paul, man. I want y'all to put me on hold and let somebody else get a call in.
Paul, just give me your phone number because I can't put you on hold and come back to you till we get off the air. So just go ahead and give us your phone number. Ebony will write it down.
Okay, 317-646-3842.
And you can always send us an email. I'm CRIDLE at radio-1.com. And Ebony is E. Chappel with 1 L at radio-1.com. Look us up and we'll chat later, all right?
Got you.
All right.
Have a great day, y'all.
You too. Caller on line 2. Good morning. You're live on the Open Line Show.
Good morning.
Yeah, who's this? What's on your mind?
Good morning. Me okay?
What's that?
Good morning.
Good morning. You're live on the air. Who's this?
This is Terry.
Terry, what's up?
King.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, darling?
I'm great. But first of all, we're going to change this whole dynamic. I want to thank him for having the courage to share his story with the world today. I want to thank him for recognizing when he got when he was in the dorm and was by himself and he started thinking. I want to thank him for being able to recognize that he needed help. Now, for the Larrys and the Pauls and all those that called in, unless you've been there, you can't say what you would do. As you know, when I get on this show, I talk it because I've walked it. I've been suicidal. Cancer wiped my family out. Everyone prior to me who has had it has died. I'm still here. But when I found out I had it, I crashed. This time, I was in the psychiatric ward for 6 months, struggling. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. I can't do this. I can't do this. Some do drugs. Some do liquor. I do work. I am a workaholic. And to take my job for me was like taking a bottle from a wino. That's it. I thought I was going to go crazy. So when you get on here and you make comments about what you should do and could do, when you're in that moment, that's when you respond. Now, after he got out of that, he sought help. Well, and then maybe a psychiatrist, maybe talk. And then the part about surround yourself with your family. Your family was already there. This conversation that he spoke on this morning reminded me of when my son lost his wife. And I was talking to him on the phone, and I asked him, I said, well, how are you doing? This is a man. And he said, well, you know, Terry, I have my moments. But then I get up and I put my game face on to see the kids and deal with the public. So, again, unless you've been there, and when I was in a psychiatrist, when I was in a bed, my father said to me, no daughter of mine belongs in a place like that. So the stigma will always be there as long as you have people like the Larry that feel like, and whoever said you're weak because you recognize it, you're weak because you allowed it to take over your mind, your thoughts. Nobody chooses to be suicidal. That's not a choice. It didn't have anything about the way you were raised, about the company that you keep. But I'm so glad that Brandon recognized that something was wrong and he got help. So thank you, Brandon, for sharing your story. That couldn't have been easy, but from one survivor to another. May God continue to bless you in everything you say and do.
Terry, thank you so much for your call, and kudos, of course, to Ebony for getting that interview. More phone calls, 317-239-9696. Caller on line 3. Good morning. You are live on the air.
Hello?
Hello, that's you. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, what's happening, man?
Well, just wanted to call in and share.
Please do.
Okay.
Hit it.
Oh, okay. Born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got me on the radio, and I'm not talking on it.
You're talking on it. We can all hear you.
Yeah, everybody can hear you, Lorenzo.
Your mom is listening. Go ahead, Lorenzo. Take it, man.
You got it.
Go ahead and turn your radio down in the back for me, though.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. You're on.
And my birth month is September.
Okay, happy birthday.
And I had a brother that my family said committed suicide this month in 1996.
Wow.
So this is amazing that September is mental health. What is it?
It's National Suicide Prevention Month. Is September.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Because see, we got all the elements involved. Let me share with you the acronym for family.
You got 1 minute to do it. Hit it.
Absolutely. Father and mother, I love you. Okay? So for 9 years now, the three-letter people have been chasing me around. That's the FBI, the CIA, the KKK, the ODB, which is a cross between Uncle Sam and Mr. Charlie with his all-seeing eye.
All right,
And
Lorenzo, we're going to have to go on to the next caller, but I do want to say thank you so much for your call, for calling in and to share your story with us. Something that Lorenzo mentioned about the month of September, we are stepping into the fall time, and very soon it will be holiday season. This is a time of year that is difficult for a lot of people. Another acronym, SAD, Seasonal Affective Disorder. Here in the Midwest, the sun, we get a little bit less of it as the year goes on. So Muhammad, really quickly before we go back to the callers, tell us a little bit about things that we should be aware of with ourselves and with each other when it comes to this time of year and taking care of our mental health.
So around this time of the year, as you had mentioned, the seasons are changing physically around us. So that may change some of our daily activities. So sometimes people may feel like they may have seasonal affective disorder, but a lot of that may be impacted by the fact that you're doing things differently at different times of the year. So you may be indoor a little bit more. But things to kind of look out for are kind of changes in your mood, changes in your daily activities. Keep an eye out on that. And if you start to see things kind of shifting on you, let's address it. It doesn't have to be a dramatic change, but just keep an eye out for those things. So maybe less attention to details, maybe a more depressed mood, maybe more anxious mood. Just keep note of that. And if you're seeing a shift, say something about it.
Let's take one last caller, and this caller that I'm going to take on line one, you have a minute, and I do mean a minute, to get your point out, and we have got to go. Caller on line one. Good morning. Who's this?
Hi.
Hi. Who's this?
Hi. My name is Jenny. I definitely want to give a shout out to Ebony. That was an amazing interview, and I appreciate the fact that she's bringing mental health in the African American community to the forefront. I think that there may need to be more summits or panels in regards to our mental health. I think it's definitely a stigma to go to a therapist or anything being a black person. I think that the more we talk about it, the better it'll get.
Jenny, I thank you so much for your call and keeping it brief. And as she said, Ebony, yes, thank you for bringing both Brandon and Muhammad to the airwaves today to talk about this issue that is so important. We've got a minute left. Muhammad, is there a place where you can direct folks if they want to either talk with you or get help after this show ends?
Yes, so if you're looking for a provider, you can always go on. My favorite is going on to Psychology Today. And what you could do is psychologytoday.com. You can find providers in your area. You can find me if you want, but I'm not the only provider out there. You can find someone within your insurance type, within a certain location, certain demographics that you may want them to check as well. You can do that. So I'm on there. A lot of providers are on there in the Indianapolis area and other places as well.
Muhammed Saahir, sir, thank you so much for starting your week and your Sunday with us here on Open Lines.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition, Ebony. Powerful and impactful show. And as Jenny just said, so glad that you are bringing this pertinent information that we often shy away from in the black and brown community to the airwaves today. A continuation of what Radio 1 Indianapolis did on Thursday with our Stop the Music Suicide Prevention and Awareness Program.
absolutely very privileged to do it. Thank you all. Have a great Sunday and a positive week, y'all.
This show continues online. If you missed any portion of it, you can check out our full podcast online right after the show. It's anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just search Open Lines Show. We are back here live next Sunday at 8. I'm Indy's newsman, Cameron Ridle, for the community queen, Ebony Chappel, and all of us at Radio 1. Peace out. Have a good day, y'all.
Peace.
We have the power to change the course of history and decide the direction of our communities and our nation. Be empowered to take action. The right vote gives us the power to hold those in office accountable.